Today on the channel, my wife Angie's back, and we're counting down another list. Last week, we counted down the top 5 least attractive hobbies per females. Now this week, we're going to count down the most attractive hobbies per females.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here with a special guest for this top 5 list. We'll see where it goes. My wife, Angie. Angie, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you.
Thank you. No,
Happy
thank
to be
you for
here.
coming. Happy to be here. You had so much fun in the last video. You're back for another one.
Couldn't wait.
And we did the top 5 least attractive male hobbies, and you gave your little 2 cents. And that's why I thought we might as well do the yin and yang. Usually I like to start off with positive. We started negative, but we're going to end with the power of positivity. Easy for me to say. And we're going to do a positive list here, as today it's going to be the top 5 hobbies women find the most attractive in men. And my guess is action figure collecting will not be on that list.
I'm curious.
So, Angie, I'm going to ask you to give your little 2 cents on all these like we did last time. So, not going to be as exciting of a list, I don't think. But people said they wanted to see what the other half brought. Here it is. I did some searching on the old Google, ended up finding some stuff. But before we get into that, Angie, did you know we left off? It wasn't a top 10 list. Apparently, it was a top 9 list on the least attractive male hobbies.
There's
So,
more.
I figured we'd start at number 9 and work our way to those last 4 and get your opinion on them.
Okay, so these are worse than gambling and trolling. These are like the
These are better. Because
Better,
one is
better,
the
better,
worst.
better.
So, and we'll just recap the others. So we'll recap the final 5. We'll go quick through those. But we'll recap the 4 we didn't touch on last time. So you ready
Okay.
for this? All right. The number 9 least attractive hobby for a man is bird watching.
Oh.
Oh, poor Coco Beware. He's just down in the dump somewhere with Frankie. What do you think about bird watching for a man?
Well, it's an old guy sport. So I'm surprised that it's even on the list.
I wonder if it's a lot of younger females that had grandpas that sat out
Yeah,
there
it's weird.
and looked at birds all the time. They had their book out and stuff, and they were just like, oh my gosh, grandpa's so dumb. I don't want that in a guy. You think that's what it is?
Maybe, I guess. I think
We-
it's cute.
It's not a turnoff, though, for you. You'd be like, oh, and do you think you'd probably get into birds a little bit if I was a bird watcher? You'd say, oh, that's a cool cardinal over there. Oh, look at a blue jay. Oh, they're mean birds. There used to be blue jays in my backyard all the time when I was a kid. And this is the old sandbox where I got Destro lost. That one of these days we're going to get the lights on. We're going to excavate him. We're going to, in the middle of the night, free that Destro figure from my childhood home. But we used to have a bunch of blue jays in the trees behind that house. And those things would be swooping down at me, always attacking me. And I'm just trying to play with my Joes in the sand. And it was a tough summer for old Kyle as a little kid. I'm sure you can relate.
Sometimes.
Sure you can relate. But bird watching, not a big deal for you. No. Okay. All right, number 8 kind of fits in line here. The number 8 least attractive male hobby is comic book collecting. What would you do if every Wednesday, or I think it's Friday now, but it used to be Wednesdays when I was a kid. Sorry, Angie, you're going to have to eat dinner by yourself. I got to go to the comic shop. I got my pull list. My pull list is here. All the new titles are coming in hot. Every Wednesday, I couldn't wait for my dad to get home from work, and Dad, the pull list. And he knew. We had to go to the comic book shop. We'd go to Toys R Us. We'd work the circuit on a Wednesday night. I'd say, Dad, get that suit off. Just wear it. And he'd say, I want to get out of this suit. Anyways, long story short, comic book collecting. I don't collect them anymore. There's just not the room. I just don't have the time. But what would you think if I was collecting comic books?
I don't think I'd care.
Wouldn't really care. I don't know who would really care. You'd say, boy, that guy, he's a ferocious reader. He reads so much. He reads so many comic books. So number 8, comic books. Number 7 is a favorite of mine when we go to the Brass Armadillo or any antique shop. There's something I'm always on the hunt for, and it's not a real antique store. It's not a real treasure store unless you have at least one of these somewhere in the building. Can you guess what it is? Probably not. What am I always looking for? But I'm usually by myself, and you're with the kids and those things, and I'm just searching. I'm like, oh, we're going to find one. We're going to find one. I know we do, and we always do. It is taxidermy. Taxidermy animals, always on the hunt for some taxidermy. You're not a real antique store if you don't have taxidermy somewhere in there, and that's the number 7 spot. What do you think about taxidermy?
Do you feel like it's like in line with hunting? Like they're like freaked out that there's like because most people that have it is like they killed the animal.
Yeah, for the most part, it's usually a deer on the wall or something like
But
that.
actually, we've joked about doing that to some of our animals.
I was gonna bring that up. We've always said about our dogs.
I regret not taxidermy.
Oh, we should. Old Buster was such a nice guy. We should taxidermy him. We should bring him back in the family. But yeah, I wouldn't.
It's okay if they die of natural causes.
I guess so. Yeah, taxidermy.
But it's weird. I mean, it is a little like if they were actually doing the taxidermy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you gotta pull the guts out and render it and all that kind of stuff. So it could be either they're a taxidermist or they're collecting taxidermied animals. Either way, probably not for you.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with just like a living room full of like water buffalo heads and elephant heads and maybe a giraffe?
It doesn't bother me, but it's.
So there's worse things on the list. Sad. There's worse. Would you rather have somebody doing taxidermy or gambling?
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy. All right. Well, the list checks out.
As long as they were like killing all the animals.
All right. Well, the final one here at number 6, and then we'll recap real quick the 1 through 5. But number 6, once again, feels old timey. Building model trains. You could care less about. You want a whole model train Santa's Village for the winter time?
Kind of cute.
Kind of cute. You don't got a lot to say about building model trains, I guess. But model trains, once again, kind of with bird watching, I feel like that's an old man sport. I'm sure there's young kids out there doing the model trains. Not me, though. Not me, unfortunately. Maybe I'll add that to my pastimes in the future. Going back through top 1 through 5, gambling at number 5, online trolling at number 4, magic tricks at number 3. Sorry, Mark Summers from the couch. Number 2, action figures. Number 1, video games. The list still holds up. So a surprising list to a lot of people, myself included. Any last thoughts on that list?
It's so random.
Do you think you could put together a top 10 list of least attractive male hobbies? No, you couldn't. You don't really care either way for the most part. Okay. All right. So that's that list. Now we're going to get down to the meat and potatoes here. We got a top 5 list, a new top 5 list here, and it is the most attractive male hobbies. So females were asked, what is the most attractive hobbies a man could have? And shockingly enough, action figures, number 1. Crazy. List done. No. We're going to work our way backwards here. And Angie, I don't know. It really seems like a bunch of dorks in this list. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm the dork. You never know. You got to look yourself in the mirror sometimes.
Why is there only 5? Why is there 9?
I don't know. There's only 5 on this one here. But we got it here. So, okay. Number 5, the most attractive thing a guy could do. I guess if you're on the prowl, you're a single lady, you're working the streets out there, trying to find a man. These are the things you should be looking for, apparently, or what the average gal out there is looking for. Number 5 is a sports team. Being a part of a team. Maybe they're on a football team, a baseball team, a softball team, a darts league. Who knows what they're up to? That's number 5, most attractive. Would you like that?
Yeah.
You would like a guy on a team? Do you have anything to add to that?
It's just women like athletic guys.
See, myself. Yeah, go ahead.
Are they just in a little like volleyball league on weekends, or
Could
are they
be
like
anything.
an athlete?
Could be anything. Either way. So they could be in a drunken softball league.
Women just don't like lazy men. This is what it comes down to. They just want an active.
They want an active man, a guy that's just working it hard.
Sweating
to the oldies. But a sports team, for me, I was in sport teams as a kid growing up a lot. Baseball, that was my main sport and stuff. But in my later life, I've been very single-focused. Because one thing I've always learned is, you can always count on yourself, or you should be able to count on yourself. So I almost like solo sports. That's where I got into like the mixed martial arts and some of that kind of stuff. I can always count on myself to show up and be there and stuff, and that's why I've been, I need to get a partner on this channel. I need somebody, but nobody can keep the pace. Nobody can keep the energy. Nobody can be as consistent as me. You can't be one of those people that says, "Hey, we're going to record at 9 o'clock," and then it's, "Oh, I'll get you at 9:15. I'll get you at 9:30. Okay, let's do it tomorrow." That doesn't fly for me. So that's my hard part with the sports team. There's always. Your sports team's only as good as your weakest link. That's what I've always found. And you know a thing or two about being sports. What sports did you like to play?
Basketball, volleyball.
Basketball, volleyball. With your height, you are 6'4", so it's good of you to play that. But moving on, you ready to the next one here? Mm-hmm. All right, number 4. Playing a musical instrument, and it could be anything. It could be the flute, maybe even the skin flute.
It's not the flute.
Could be the flute. There could be a flautist. You might be into a flautist, or somebody playing an oboe. They come in the room one night. I got a mean oboe solo I've been working on. I want to show it to you. But musical instruments. What are your thoughts on that?
Not surprised.
Is that fun for you?
I think guitar probably is the number one.
What's number 2, do you think? The bass
Drums,
guitar.
maybe? I don't know.
Drums?
It's got to be like in an authentic band. I don't think you'd want to be
You don't think
the clarinet or the
a chick would be turned on by a pianist? A pianist?
Yeah, maybe.
Could tickle the ivories a little bit. How about that? So musical instruments. So guitar is number 1 for you. So watch out, Jeff George. She's on the prowl. She's on the prowl. Musical instrument number 4. All right, we got 3 left, and I know you're going to like this one, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Number 3, most attractive thing for females. What do you think? Any guesses?
No. It's gotta be somebody that's like handy though, like build stuff.
How about cooking?
Oh.
Cooking would be good. Is that how you get to through your heart is through your stomach or whatever?
This list is making sense. I like this list.
You like this list?
The
You
other
could have
one
wrote
was
it.
crazy.
All right, cooking. So you love a man that cooks. Have you ever had a man cook you just an amazing dinner?
No.
Hello. There was one time, and I'm going to go on to this, so I'm going to tell you, there was one time I slaved in the kitchen, like an entire Sunday.
Trash the kitchen.
Making Dean Ween. Shout out to Dean Ween for the band Ween. He posted his special Sunday sauce recipe is what it was. It was meatballs, spaghetti, all this, but it's like a 9-hour affair to get all this stuff right. It's old school Italian cooking. I slaved away, and it was the greatest Italian meal I've ever had. I just don't have the time to do it again, and you don't want me to do it again because you're not a big meatball guy and all that sausage and stuff. You're just fine with a thing of Prego and some noodles. And that's...
With cottage cheese.
So cooking is something you like, and I honestly don't do a lot of cooking, unfortunately, but you don't either. You don't either. You do more than me, but more grilling or frozen pizzas, that's my specialty. We just had the Wolverine Deadpool one, black olive and pineapple. I don't know if I'd recommend that one, but you got to try it when you're the pizza king. But cooking, if I could cook you any meal right now, what would you want? What would you want? If I could whip you up something, what would be the perfect meal to get into your heart?
I have no idea.
No idea. So really, why even pick up cooking if you don't have any idea? I'd make you be like, okay, we'll just keep going out to eat for every meal. That sounds great. All right, number 2. We're down to the final 2, Angie. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you got a list here of things that aren't on this list that you can tell us later so you can
really don't.
Oh, you're going to think of something. You got to add something. All right, number 2, a green thumb. You like a green thumb? Mm-hmm. Now, what is a green thumb? Explain this.
Like they're good at landscaping and on yard work and stuff and
like me
growing things.
Like I need to go mow the yard right now, and but my dad, an amazing yard work guy. You should see his lawn, next level, absolutely. So green thumb is number 2. You agree with that?
I'm surprised that's higher than the others.
Personally, I'd rather be cooked to than green thumb to. I'd rather have a cook than a thumb, but that's just me. And now, okay, we got the number 1 left. The number 1 most attractive male hobby. Any guesses?
Handyman.
Nope, it's not handyman. I'm a handyman.
I don't know.
No guesses? Mm-mm. It's a weird one, and I don't understand how something like maybe comic book reading could be on the list of the worst, but on the favorite, book reading. So ladies love a bookworm. They love a guy that's just knee-deep in their books, apparently. I don't know. What do we think about that?
It's more about like a fantasy of like a man reading to you, like...
You want me to read you a story later?
Women have weird fantasies.
Do you? We want to tell about some of your top 5 women's fantasies? Would you like to do that list? So, book reading is number 1, so you would think that's somewhere on a list. I don't know. I've read a lot of books. I've read thousands of books, and I've never once had you say, boy, I love to see you be reading those books.
You're reading about wrestling autobiographies, though.
Yeah, that's good. What would you like me to read? What do you want me to read? I like a good biography. That's what I do prefer in my reading. Oh, now, do you know a thing about reading?
Yes.
Now, what do you like to read? See you later.
You don't want to know.
Oh, nobody wants to know what Angie's reading. It's a secret. All right. Well, that's it then. That's an interesting list. Is there anything you would even add to that list?
I can't believe a handyman's not on there.
Can't believe a handyman.
You want a bookshelf? Somebody can build you a bookshelf? That's hot.
Is it? All right. Well, you handyman, you got a chance. So I'll say, yeah, call her. I'll put the number in the description down below. You can give her a call if you're a handyman. She's looking for you. She's looking for one. So somebody that can do electrical work, painting, stuff around the house, plus building bookshelves. Angie's all in for that. So there it is. That's the top 5 list, most attractive male hobbies that could be. So you're okay with that list. You think that list is better than the most unattractive?
Yeah, made way more sense.
Okay. Well, that's it, Angie. You got anything else to add to this list? She has nothing else. She wants to get the heck out of here. She's had enough of this video. But that's it. Another top 5 list, top 10, whatever this list was, in the books. Appreciate everybody watching the video. Angie, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. And you can find me on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. Until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Angie.
I'm Angie. I'll see you guys all real soon.